Step right up, dummies, and listen to the stupidest sports show on earth with Rodney Newpole and Tim Van Stratton. Yeah. Well, hello, dummies, and welcome to episode number 114 of the stupidest sports show on earth. My name, as you all know, is Tim the Rocket Van Stratton. Alongside me is Rodney Newpole on a cold-ass Friday morning.
Right.
It's so
right.
cold, it should be illegal to go outdoors.
It's so cold. It is awful. It hurts. It hurts your body. It hurts your face. It hurts everything. It is really cold. My two oldest now have 6 a.m. practices.
Oh.
That means leaving the house at like 5:35. It's awfully cold.
Dark outside.
It's dark.
Yeah.
It's cold. There's snow and ice on the ground still. Brutal. But here we are. Happy Friday. Big weekend of sports. A fun weekend of sports. I won't go as far as the greatest because we tend to overuse that. But like college football, conference championships tonight and tomorrow. They always pack a big weekend of college basketball in during this weekend. They call it Championship Saturday. Mm-hmm. The NFL slate is very good. So a big weekend of sports. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, we have college football conference championships. We have NFL Week 14. We have college hoops. Obviously NBA, NHL. You have the World Cup draw tonight. I know you're very excited about that. Big soccer guy. And then it basically it's all of the ingredients in place to just not go outside because again, we're not going to hammer this for an hour. It's chilly.
Yeah.
I don't want to go outside. So yeah, this is a good opportunity to stay inside and watch sports all weekend, and we're going to talk about all of it.
Yeah, so let's start today with the historic nature of last night. LeBron James, see ya to his streak of a shitload of games where he scored 10 points or more. And I do got to say, as hated as the guy is, he had an opportunity to win the game on his own, a little 10-foot floater. But no, what did he do? He dished it out to a wide-open teammate for a game winner. First of all, congrats to LeBron. That's an awesome, awesome feat. And second of all, see it to the streak. You're a Lakers guy. The streak, the end of the streak, not a big deal, but like fun ending that Lakers game.
Yeah. So okay. The streak is a big deal, but honestly, it's not something that I really much thought about because it was just sort of, you just took it for granted because LeBron James, even at 40 years old, was still scoring well over 20 points a game. So the idea of him only scoring single digits was like, why would I think about that? And it wasn't until this year where he started to look his age a little bit, where people finally started talking about like, oh, is the streak in danger? There's a couple stats that I think are really fun and sort of put this in perspective. And I know that I'm like a LeBron guy. I know you appreciate LeBron as well, and I know that there's people in the audience who tune in that are like, LeBron, horrible. But I just want to just put things in perspective here. Okay, LeBron's streak started in January of 2007. I was 14 years old.
Yeah, that's wild. That's
okay.
Wild.
So 2007, the 2006-2007 season was when LeBron James first started scoring at least 10 points a game, and he's done so every single game of his life until yesterday. At what is he, 40? Is he 40 or 41 now?
He's 41 this month.
Okay, yeah, so he's 40 now. He's going to be 41 later this month. Okay, so that alone is amazing. But two, in his entire career, which began, as you all remember, in the fall of 2003, 22 years ago, in his entire career, he's had 9 games where he scored less than 10 points. Okay? 9 games. 9 games. He's been to 10 NBA finals. Meanwhile, LeBron James has more NBA Finals appearances than games with fewer than 10 points.
That's impressive. And absurd.
But yeah, people are going to be like, ugh, who cares? He's not Jordan. Ugh.
It was 4 for 17 from the field.
Yeah, because he's almost 41 years old.
Yeah. Yeah, and that was without...
Almost 41 years old, playing without Luka Doncic, a game against
Yeah.
Toronto on the road, a game that they won because LeBron had the cerebral know-how, like always, to pass into a wide-open Rui Hachimura in 3 who buries it at the buzzer.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. No Luka in that one as well. So,
yeah.
And Toronto, while not an elite team, one of the better teams in the East.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, which I don't know about you, but that caught me off guard. And I follow the NBA, but it was one of those things where I'm like, oh, Toronto is second in the East right now.
Yeah.
Like it's wild. And last year it was very obvious. It was like, oh yeah, Boston, Cleveland, those are the 2 best teams. But now we knew the East was going to be wide open a little bit, but I don't think anyone would have had on December 5th the Detroit Pistons and Toronto Raptors topping the Eastern Conference right now.
Yeah, with teams like Cleveland, Milwaukee, and Philly scraping along to try to get one of those wild card spots. So, but one thing you can always count on is the Bulls are tied for the final wild card spot.
Yes,
in the East.
always. Yep. And what started off as a really good story. They were 5-0, 6-1.
Yeah.
They're 9-12. And actually, so technically they're out of it right now, even though they're both like 7.5 back of Detroit.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But don't forget,
brutal.
don't forget, according to reports, they had a chance to go after Giannis, but said, we do not want to disrupt our young core.
Right. No, remember the Chicago Bulls famously don't want. What's better than 2 elite players?
Yeah.
I'll tell you, it's 7 to 8 pretty good players.
Yeah. Okay. Oh man, Chicago Bulls. They are. So if the Bears are going to continue at the trajectory they are, quit being the laughing stocks, we're going to have to turn our attention more to the Chicago Bulls. I mean, they kind of went unnoticed here. Not unnoticed, but under talked about as all their stupidity, but it may be time to ramp that up. But anyways, I don't want to spend too long on the NBA. We got plenty of football to talk about today. But see you to LeBron streak, very impressive. Thank you for throwing those 2 nuggets out there, both very impressive. I tweeted them out in case anybody missed them, but see you to LeBron's streak. Let's move to last night's game. I am officially calling today the 2025 Dallas Cowboys funeral. Now, I have a feeling you might push back on this a little bit. No? You're not a big Cowboys guy, but you still think they're alive?
Well, you're right. I'm not the Cowboys guy. But as we discussed on Tuesday, so there's still a path even with them losing a game, because the whole math and scenarios I was doing in my head was they go 4-1 down the stretch, and then the Eagles go 2-3. We looked at the schedules; it's doable, and they still win the division. Now, even with Dallas losing yesterday, it lowers their chances, and it basically requires them to win out the remainder of the year. But I'll remind you, the remainder of the season is hosting the Minnesota Vikings, who are terrible, hosting the LA Chargers. That's a tough one, but at least you're at home. And then you end the year against garbage Washington, garbage Giants. So is it unlikely? Of course. Is it impossible? Absolutely not. So you could start the funeral proceedings, but I don't think we're officially burying them until they lose one more game.
Yeah, so what we saw last night, and obviously Detroit's got a very dynamic offense. We've known that. But what we saw last night is kind of the week 1 through 6 Dallas Cowboys, where they just could not guard anybody. gave up 40-plus points on the road last night to a Detroit team that many were starting to question. Detroit's still on the outside looking in. And Detroit's got a tough path here because, like, they're quite a ways behind. I mean, they're still a decent amount behind the Bears and the Packers. And if the Bears-Packers split those two games, like, that's not good for Detroit, right? Like, Detroit probably wants one of the Bears or Packers to win both of the head-to-heads, because you're looking at, in the wild card, you're looking at the three teams ahead of them, one of them being the Packers, but the 49ers and the Seahawks, like, I don't know as if they're going to come down to Detroit's, I don't know as if they're going to lose enough games for Detroit to come back. So Detroit with a win helped them, but I'm still not sure the Lions make the playoffs. Can't hear you.
Button.
There you go.
Which is par for the course for me. Okay, so Detroit is 8-5. The Bears are 9-3. Based on sort of how the season has gone so far, so Detroit's played Green Bay twice and lost both times. Yeah. So they don't have that tiebreaker. But so really, I think the Lions need the Packers to beat the Bears on Sunday.
Both times.
Well, both times would be ideal. Ideal, sure. But okay, so let's say the Bears lose on Sunday at Green Bay. So that puts them at 9-4. They're a game up on Detroit. But Detroit still gets to play the Bears one more time.
Yeah.
They still get to play the Bears one more time in Week 18. So even if the Bears and Lions finish with the same record, if the Bears beat them both of those games, or excuse me, if the Lions beat them both of those games, the Lions will be in.
Yeah.
So the Lions, though, like you mentioned, they have to win, and ideally their path is still winning games. They end the year. It's a very similar schedule to Dallas, where they're like at the Vikings, at the Bears to end the year. They host the Pittsburgh Steelers in Week 16, but then next week is at the Rams.
Yeah,
and that's obviously a tough game. The Rams are super good, but like we've seen Detroit play pretty well against the Rams over the last few years. Yeah. So, it's as long as Detroit is within a game of the Bears going into Week 18.
Yeah.
You like their chances, because then it's winning they're in, essentially.
Wonder Boy against his old team in Week 18, winner goes to the playoffs. That would be interesting. Would be interesting.
If that's the Week 18 scenario, is that going to be your final regular season game of the year? Like, because you know how they always put the best game on Sunday Night Football. Like last year, they put the Vikings Lions on Sunday night because that was winner clinches the division.
That's
a scenario where it's like the final playoff spot. Because looking at the rest of the Week 18 schedule, I know we're getting way ahead of ourselves, but like Chargers Broncos probably won't be for the division unless the Broncos like really fall off a cliff these next few weeks. Ravens Steelers might be a game for the division, so that's a possibility. You got Seahawks 49ers, which is a really good one. So those are probably your scenarios as well, but I could see Lions Bears for sure.
Yeah. So last night, Jahmyr Gibbs 3 rushing touchdowns. That brings up my question to you today. All right. So my question to you: you get one current NFL running back. I'm going to say current because I don't want any answers of Barry Sanders, Emmitt Smith, right? Because like if I tell
Tony Dorsett,
if I tell you get one NFL running back, you're gonna be like, I want O.J. Simpson. But anyway, so you get one.
No, I would not say that personally, but that's just me.
You get one current NFL running back. You have a one game scenario. It's it. One game. You must win that game. What running back are you taking?
Modern. Today.
Yeah, right now. You play tomorrow.
All right. I mean, Jonathan Taylor's the best running back in the league. Or him or McCaffrey. So
Jahmyr Gibbs is pretty good.
The Jahmyr Gibbs is really good. I literally just said he's good. Jahmyr Gibbs is awesome, but also Jahmyr Gibbs doesn't have the he's not the every down back. He's the Lions are able to get the most out of Jahmyr Gibbs by using him in certain situations. David Montgomery was the primary back yesterday.
Yeah.
Over Jahmyr Gibbs. Like Jahmyr Gibbs had 12 carries, something like that, the whole game. He had 3 touchdowns. He had 12 carries. So it's like it's still a it's very much like a split backfield. Like the 49ers acquired Brian Robinson, who's the last couple of years has been a really good running back, and it's still like, oh, sorry, Brian. Like you'll get on the field like 5 times a game because we have Christian McCaffrey. Right. And like Jonathan Taylor, we were talking about the MVP discussion. So I get okay. So I think one game I'll go McCaffrey. If this is a full season, I'll go Jonathan Taylor just because of the injury concerns. But I would think it would have to be one of those two. And then Bijan is probably the next tier.
I'll take Bijan if I don't have to take his head coach and Tyler Algier next to him. That drives me absolutely insane watching Falcons games and getting first and goal on the 7 and it goes to Tyler Algier twice. Just drives me insane. Drives me absolutely insane. Anyways, I'll probably take Christian McCaffrey in this one.
Yeah, but like that's also a point for Bijan too, where you think about all the production Tyler Algier vultures, and yet Bijan is still a consensus top 3 running backs. Gonna have ton of yards, gets in the end zone a bunch. Like the guy rocks. He's great. And that's with Algier taking more of his snaps than the backups in San Francisco and Indy are taking from their starters. Yeah. So that's wild. Now, Rodney, if you had to take one running back ever, I know who you're considering. Can I just tell you mine?
Yeah.
And we've been blessed with a lot of great running backs over the course of our football fandoms, and I'm sure a lot of people my age will back me up on this. There is no running back that I've ever seen that has been more dominant, more impactful, more consistent than LaDainian Tomlinson.
Yeah, good player.
Like LaDainian Tomlinson in my sort of like running back Mount Rushmore, like he's the guy. He's my guy forever. Like LaDainian Tomlinson was incredible. And like everything you would want out of a running back. And even like in today's game, he'd still be amazing. So like that's my guy.
Of course, it's got to be Todd Gurley, right?
I thought you were going to say Marshall Faulk.
I always liked Thurman Thomas. I don't know, like that was like the 90s, but like those were the years growing up. So I was kind of, following the Bills were obviously making the big, getting there, but never winning. I don't know. I'm not saying he's going to be my choice. You're right. Marshall Faulk would be a great choice for me. Tomlinson's a great choice as well. Emmitt Smith. There's a whole bunch of them. But
what about those 2 years of Sean Alexander?
Yeah, there you go. But anyways, that's a good question. Go ahead.
This is probably like a conversation for the summer when we don't really have a bunch of topics, but I'd love to talk about like why certain guys are in the NFL Hall or the Pro Football Hall of Fame and others are like Terrell Davis had a 7-year career and 3 of them were hurt, but that was good enough to make the Hall of Fame because his first 4 years were that insane. Like, why isn't Sean Alexander in the Hall of Fame for also having like a 3 or 4 year stretch of dominance, but also playing more games after that?
Yeah. You're good with the Hall of Fame number. So this would be a great one. Let's pencil this in for like May.
Yeah. That's or even June. Like May you still got playoffs and stuff. Yeah. Remind me, Sean Alexander Hall of Fame discussion in June episodes of the show.
Real quickly on this one. I guess my thinking is Brian Schottenheimer has not shown that he's out of place in Dallas to me, right? Like I think people at the beginning of the year were like, oh my God, we're going to see an absolute circus from Dallas. And I'm not putting 6-6-1 on him necessarily. I don't know. I've watched a few Dallas games and I don't think they're poorly coached. I mean, obviously he's gotten some pretty good production out of Dak this year. Defense has been hit or miss. I feel like with their draft picks they got coming up, Dallas is going to be pretty solid. I mean, I think it's pretty obvious Schottenheimer is going to be more than one and done, but I guess kind of your thoughts, your grade on Schottenheimer in year one.
I think you really honestly said it best because it's like there haven't been moments where I'm like, oh my God, the Cowboys have been getting so badly outcoached he's
Right.
been a disaster. He's been fine. But the thing with Brian Schottenheimer is there's nothing about him that's like things are going to get much better.
Yeah.
Where I don't know if he is going to elevate the Cowboys further than what they were with Mike McCarthy, with Jason Garrett, like with any of the coaches that came before him. I think it's just gonna be the same. Like Brian Schottenheimer to me isn't like he's gonna be the coach that finally gets the Cowboys to an NFC title game, to a Super Bowl.
Right.
Like that's not. I don't see that. But I think a lot of the struggles early on were more so just due to the Micah Parsons fiasco, the defense getting clobbered, and Brian Schottenheimer's an offensive coach. Like the defense is not his side of the football. So, like, I don't think we can sit here and blame him for the defense, because the offense for the Cowboys has largely kept them competitive up to this point.
Yeah, very much so.
So I would probably give Schottenheimer. I mean, they're a 500 team right now. We just did their funeral. I was probably B-, and now maybe C+. Like he shouldn't get fired. He's not gonna get fired.
No, he's not. I give him a pretty mid to low B.
Yeah, I would say mid B is probably where I would have been at this time 2 days ago.
Yeah.
But then sort of just last night, and then you just have to factor in like they're 6-6-1. The playoffs, while there's a path, it's still a long shot. So you can't really be like, this season was a success.
Yeah.
When people thought they would still be sort of, a 9-10 win team.
Okay, I'm gonna skip ahead real quick. I'm gonna go ahead and get to my power rankings now, real quick. We did not do it on Tuesday.
Friday edition of the power rankings. This is exciting.
So I'm going to start at the bottom. I'm going to keep the Tennessee Titans as the worst team in the league. I'm going to keep them at 32. They're bad.
They're so bad. I've heard some people, like some TV people, say that the Titans are the worst NFL team that they've seen in a decade.
It's very possible.
They're horrendous.
Yeah, horrendous.
Rodney, again, their one win was that insane comeback against the Cardinals, where the Cardinals totally shot themselves in the leg multiple times.
Yes.
That's their one win. That's it. Otherwise, it could very well be 0-12 right now.
This is a bad team as well. Number 31, I'll go the New Orleans Saints. Also not any good. Don't have really any. There's no light at the end of the tunnel, at least for me in the Saints. I don't see it. 30, I will go with the Las Vegas Raiders. These guys could easily be the worst team in the league. If the Saints and the Titans didn't exist, they would be just dreadful. And Pete Carroll leads the market for the next to get fired. I don't know as if they do it after 1 year. I don't think so. I don't think so.
I don't, probably not, but God, that's such a bad situation there. They're such a mess.
Your New York Giants come in at number 29. Probably
Terrible.
fair for them. 29.
Yeah.
And then Washington Commanders, really bad this year as well.
So
Dan Quinn will make it because most of this season has to do with Jaden Daniels, but they've been bad in general. So they'll come in at 28.
So you're taking the New York Jets, the Cleveland Browns, and the Arizona Cardinals over the Washington Commanders.
Yeah, I think so. Commanders' defense has been absolutely atrocious, and Marcus Mariota is not the guy at quarterback. Now, I know there's questions on the Jets and there's questions on the Browns. I actually haven't mind seeing the Browns the last couple. Shedeur wasn't great. He hasn't been great, but I don't know. I feel like there's a few more pieces in Cleveland than like Washington just doesn't show. Don't we think Deebo Samuel's kind of well over his prime? Like,
that's why, when the 49ers willingly gave him away, of course.
Yes, but Washington's still trying to use him as a premier weapon. Like, he's their kick returner. He's one of their top receivers. Like, I
mean, Rodney, I was, as you know, like, I was not high on Washington being another 12-win team again. I was like, it's an obvious drop-off candidate. Now, I didn't think they'd be 3-9 or whatever they are, but like Jaden Daniels' injury had a lot to do with that. But also, like, Jaden Daniels did have injury concerns. And like that's something to consider. But like, and a general rule of thumb going back to Deebo, like, if any good team is willingly giving up a integral part of their team There's probably
Might be
a
a red
reason for
flag.
that.
Yeah.
There's a red flag. Like if the Rams are like the Patriots did it for years. Like the Patriots would always Belichick would always like get rid of veterans that were seemingly integral parts, and it would usually be before the drop off and not after. But like there's a reason that the Patriots were a dynasty for 20 years.
Yeah.
And like the Rams have consistently been good by following that same protocol. The Chiefs have done that same thing. The 49ers, like there's a reason that these teams are all good consistently is because they know exactly when a player is about to peak and when a player is about to fall off. So if those teams are like, hey, we're dangling this guy, maybe don't answer the phone. Maybe just like let another team worry about it. And I think Deebo Samuel's a prime example of that.
Yeah. I'll go to the top 5, and I'm going to start at the makes a little bit more sense to start at the top. And unfortunately, I guess I got to do it. I don't know.
You don't have a choice. No, like you don't have a choice right now. I get it.
I don't know what to do with the Patriots. So I put them at 1. New England Patriots. Well, they just keep winning. They would have won like 10 in a row. Drake May doesn't turn it over. He's not wowing you with 400 yards, but he's 250 and 2 touchdowns and may run one in. And he's finding different receivers each week. Patriots number 1 for me.
So I was looking at the Patriots schedule this year. So they're 11-2. So they played 13 games. Of those 13, 3 of them have been against teams that are currently over 500. And one of them's the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah.
For perspective, the New York Giants, who also seemingly had a last place schedule this year, have also played 13 games. 10 of them were against teams that are currently over 500. Yeah. And one of the teams that isn't over 500 is the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah. Yeah, wow, that is crazy to me. That's another great stat. But yeah, I'm with you. Like New England, they're literally playing the worst teams in the league, and it feels like every week. But they're winning games.
They're winning, and like to the Patriots' credit, like I'm not sitting here and saying that they're a fluke. Like they've played Buffalo on the road, beat them. Yeah, they played Tampa on the road, beat them. They played Carolina on the road, beat them. Like crushed them. So, like, or I think they might have hosted Carolina, but like the point is, like the Patriots, the teams that they faced, they beat. Yeah. And like the Giants, I could sit here and be like, oh, the schedule boned them. Well, the Giants also played and lost to the Commanders and the Saints. So like, you don't really have anyone to blame but yourself. Like you ultimately got to go out there and win games. So, but like that just gives you an idea that the Patriots are taking what everyone knew was a really favorable schedule and absolutely surpassing expectations still.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so number 2, they just came off a loss, but I'm going to go with the Los Angeles Rams here at 2. I still feel like they have the best overall talent from top to bottom, offense, defense, coaching, special teams. I think the Rams still are necessarily the team to beat, the most talented team. That doesn't always mean they win the Super Bowl, but I'm going to go Rams 2. Maybe not the most popular pick. I'm going to go the Green Bay Packers at 3. Yes, I know they do not even lead their division, but I'll go Green Bay Packers at 3. I feel like the Packers are playing much better now. We kind of had that, okay, we started hot. Ooh, we're not playing very well. Oh, we're picking it up again. I feel like Matt LaFleur and his staff maybe have figured some things out, helped his team out, got guys coming back. Jordan Love's been pretty strong. I'll go Packers 3. I'm going to go the Seahawks 4. I still have questions on Sam Darnold coming down the stretch. Are we going to see the Sam Darnold down the stretch we saw in Minnesota? Or are we going to see the Sam Darnold we've seen all year this year? I'm not picking them to go far in the NFC because there's too many talented teams, but they're certainly going to be there. They're certainly going to be in the mix. I'll go Seahawks 4. And my number 5 is the Denver Broncos. They're like the Patriots. Like, what do I do with them? They just keep winning. They win all their games. They are beating everybody they're playing. So Bo Nix, I don't know. Like, do I think he's going to win the AFC title? Probably not. But here we are, week 14, and the Denver Broncos are at the top of the AFC. So my top 5 was Patriots, Rams, Packers, Seahawks, Broncos, which means still no Chicago Bears in the top 10 or top 5.
And you finally, mercifully, took off the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, and the Buffalo Bills are both out of the both outside the top 5, reluctantly, and it happened. But here we are. Let me pull up the rest of them and kind of see if if you agree or disagree with any of these from the top 10. Let me pull it up real quick. Come on.
Yeah, I was thinking, I mean, honestly, like, it's hard to sit here and argue with who you've put in there. Like, we can't just ignore the Patriots and the Broncos forever. But like Packers, you could still absolutely make a case that even though they're technically behind the Bears in the division, like, you could absolutely make a case, and you should make a case that the Packers are a better football team right now. Like, the Packers' point differential is plus 68, the Bears is plus 6.
Yeah. So outside of the top 5, my number 6 was the Buffalo Bills. Number 7 was the San Francisco 49ers. Number 8 is the Chicago Bears. Number 9, now this was before last night, was the Dallas Cowboys. They're obviously going to move outside the top 10 now. Lions were 15, so maybe just flip-flop those two. I really thought Dallas, with their 3-game winning streak, was going to continue to surge, and Detroit might continue to fall down. I was wrong. And I got the Eagles at 10. Eagles.
Yeah.
10. Texans 11, Colts 12. Danger zone for the Colts. Chargers, Bucks, Lions, Jags round out the top 16. Jaguars.
So
16.
The first place Jaguars at
Yeah.
16 in your power rankings. And you're a Jags guy, we know, famously. They did a really bad jersey on
with my
mock
first
jersey
name
for you that they never sent you.
No, I had my first name. Like, I don't want a jersey with my first name. Anyways, Chiefs 17.
Incredibly, it's incredibly, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, to have a jersey with your first name on it.
Yeah, no, that's not happening. Yeah,
vain. It's like it's a very vain thing to like have it. Like, if I had a jersey that just had like big time Tim Jim on it, like, be like, what the hell are you doing, man?
Yeah. All right. So that's my power rankings. We'll probably go back to Tuesday for this next week. Kind of recap the week 14 and get back to Tuesday. All right. So I did want to talk about college sports. This is the big college football and basketball weekend. Real quick, we don't need to break down the basketball games, but there are great college basketball games this weekend. Let me just run them by to you real quick. Number 11, Gonzaga takes on number 18, Kentucky tonight in Nashville. But that's not it. Tomorrow, loaded slate. Number 4, Duke at 7, Michigan State. 10, Iowa State at number 1, Purdue. 6, Louisville at 22, Indiana. 14, Illinois takes on 13, Tennessee. 20, Auburn takes on 2, Arizona. 5 games, both ranked. And then if that's not good enough for you, you got Florida State at Houston. You got Ole Miss at St. John's. It's a massive Saturday of college basketball. I'm curious why they put it on the college football championship Saturday. I guess because there's only limited fan bases that really are going to be tuned into the college football playoff. Because, like, there's going to be a lot of people watching. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'll watch Georgia, Alabama, even though I'm not a Georgia, Alabama fan. But, like, maybe they're thinking because I'm a Kansas basketball fan, if I put Kansas on at the same time, I'll watch them. I don't know. I just find it interesting they put all these great games on championship Saturday.
Well, okay, yeah. So, like, BYU, Texas Tech play at 11 a.m. At that same time as when they put Iowa State, Purdue, and Duke, Michigan State.
Yeah.
That's not a lot of crossover between, like who you have at, like, BYU, like the Big 12 there versus, like, Duke and Michigan State.
Yeah.
So you don't really have that crossover. I'm trying to see, like, the correlations here. So then, like, the game after that, you have Georgia, Alabama, which is a 3:00 game. So at that same time, college basketball would then have
Louisville, Indiana would be finishing up.
And then Rutgers, Michigan State. So they kind of left that a little bit open, and then later on in the night when it's the ACC championship is when they have Illinois, Tennessee, and
Good.
Auburn, Arizona.
Good idea, because
which
that
are
ACC
good games, but not really conflicting in terms of, like, who's going to be watching the ACC championship versus, like, college basketball. So I think that they sort of did it strategically a little bit. But I agree. It's definitely a multi-view type of day.
Well, Indiana, Ohio State's 7:00 as well. So Indiana, Ohio State during the Big Ten championship, you also get Illinois, Tennessee basketball. So a little bit of conflict there. I mean, I know there's going to be local people wanting to watch the Big Ten championship and the Illinois basketball game. But regardless, at least nowadays, this isn't 5-10 years ago where you really only had one. I mean, YouTube TV does a great job. You can have 4 screens or what, four pictures or whatever you call it most of the time, where you can watch multiple things at once. But anyways, that's college basketball. Let's get to college football. We'll talk about the slate, and then we'll get to some of these for our best bets for betting. Tonight there are 4 games. The Conference USA, Kennesaw State at Jacksonville State. The Sun Belt, Troy against James Madison. The Mountain West, UNLV and Boise State. I feel like they play every year in the Mountain West Championship.
Mm-hmm.
And then the AAC, North Texas and Tulane. Tomorrow starts at 11 o'clock, the MAC Championship, Miami, Ohio against Western Michigan. The Big 12 Championships at 11, BYU, Texas Tech. Good one there. Texas Tech's a 12.5-point favorite, by the way. That's a lot of points in the championship game.
Rodney, this is exactly the conversation that we had a month ago when we're like, wow, that's a lot of points between them. And Texas Tech easily covered and dominated them. And we're sitting here after we saw it happen once, and we're like, oh, wow, that's a lot of points. It's like the same amount of points that they previously gave Texas Tech. They covered easily.
Good point. Georgia, Alabama is at 3 o'clock. Georgia's 2.5-point favorite. Indiana, 4.5-point dog against Ohio State. Your Hoosiers. And then Duke and Virginia is the night game that everybody will turn their TV off for. Big Ten Championship, ACC Championship, same time. I'm guessing the ratings will go one way and not split. I mean, ACC, the people out on the coast might tune in, but not very many. Big Ten Championship will run away with that one. So anyways, that's the slate. Before we get to best bets for betting, let's talk NFL schedule, because I'm jamming this all in so then we can kind of put it together during the best bets for betting. Do or die weekend in the NFL. And here's why. Because here are the games that I think are do or die. Cincinnati Bengals at the Buffalo Bills. If the Bengals lose, they die. Am I wrong? No, stop.
Mathematically, no, but my brain says yes.
Yeah.
Only 5.5. Oh, by the way, only 5.5 points for the 4-8 Bengals on the road. I'm just saying, the sports books know. They know.
Houston Texans at the Kansas City Chiefs Sunday Night Football. If either team loses, they're dead.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
The loser is dead. Yeah, that's Sunday Night Football is a do or die game. I won't say they're officially dead, but Baltimore hosting Pittsburgh, the loser of that game is in a bad spot.
In a worse spot, correct? Yeah. In a worse spot. But like the division sucks.
Colts Jaguars, I'm not going to say they're dead, but the loser of that game is in big trouble to win the division.
It hurts, but also then it definitely requires the Chiefs to beat the Texans.
Yeah, 8-4 and 8-4 in that one.
Because if the Texans win Sunday Night Football, then things get very interesting.
Very interesting.
Regardless of who wins between Indy and Jacksonville.
Bears Packers, not necessarily do or die, but for the division lead. Winner of that one will take over the NFC North. Monday Night Football, Eagles Chargers. Neither team will die here, but both teams really, really, really need to find a way to win, because the Eagles with their losing streak going on, and the Chargers trying to keep pace with the Broncos, especially. So if you're the Chargers and the Chiefs win Sunday Night Football, that pressure on you becomes quite large moving into Monday night hosting the Eagles, because the Chiefs are still there. They're still sniffing around below you a little bit, where you better, that becomes a winnable game. Now, if the Chiefs lose, you're a little less under the pressure. But if the Chiefs lose and the Chargers win, then it's pretty much good night, Kansas City. You're done. So big games in the NFL, probably the best slate we've had, right?
It in a long time. I feel like the last few weeks it's been really a struggle. Like you've had maybe one or two standout games, but I feel like this week we're finally getting a lot of not just really good matchups, but also very impactful for the playoff race, which is just wide open right now. So absolutely, it's a great slate. And going back to your Chargers point here, if the Chiefs win Sunday Night Football and the Chargers lose, they're separated by a game going into their head-to-head matchup in Kansas City next Sunday. Yeah.
I was looking ahead at next week. The Thursday Night Football game, I'm telling you right now, you can just skip. It's Falcons at Tampa Bay. You can skip Thursday night. You could
Bills Patriots is good.
probably could skip Sunday night football. It's Minnesota at Dallas.
That's regrettable.
Yeah. You could skip Monday night too. It's Miami at Pittsburgh.
Horrendous. So a horrendous primetime slate.
Yes.
But Rodney, if you get rid of the primetime games, get rid of all of them, you're left with matchups like Bills Patriots, Chargers Chiefs, Colts Seahawks, Packers Broncos, and Lions Rams.
Yeah, good games.
Exceptional Sunday games.
Yeah.
But just do something else with your families on Sunday night, Monday night, Thursday night.
Yeah, primetime's garbage. So, all right, let's get to our best bets for betting. We can talk about our favorite games of the week. So, best bets for betting segment, just a reminder, I have taken the lead by one single game. I am 36-34. You are officially 35-35, right at 500. So, let's start with me. I will start tonight. I will start in hoops. It's the 5-3 Kentucky Wildcats taking on I believe they're 6-1 Gonzaga Bulldogs. Both teams coming off a loss. Gonzaga got beat by 40 a week ago against Michigan. Kentucky coming off, I believe it was the loss to Michigan State. 5.5 points. This game's in Nashville. I feel is too many. I think Coach Pope and the Wildcats will be ready for this one. I don't know if they'll necessarily win. I do think they'll stay under and compete that 5.5. I'm going to take the Cats as a 5.5 point dog tonight in basketball.
All right. So I've gone back and forth with this game, this SEC title game. So the more that I'm thinking about it and the way that these rankings are sitting, like Alabama is ahead of Notre Dame, ahead of BYU, ahead of Miami, ahead of Texas, like all of these teams, right?
Yeah.
So Texas is a 3-loss team. If Alabama loses, that also makes them a 3-loss team. So there's no reason that Alabama should move behind Texas. So basically, what I'm trying to say here is that the more I think about this, I feel like the only way Alabama is going to miss the college football playoff is if they get absolutely murdered by Georgia. So I don't necessarily think that Alabama is like viewing this game as like, oh, this is our life here. And like 2.5 points, a neutral site game that's like not really neutral. It makes me think that Georgia is going to win this one. But like Alabama, I'm not sure that Alabama's thinking like, oh, this like we are hanging on by a thread here. I don't know. Like I feel like Alabama would still get it if they keep it close, right?
I don't know. Miami's a team. I don't know. I don't. I mean, okay, they lose by a field goal at the buzzer. Okay, yeah, they're probably in. They lose by a touchdown or two. I don't know. I don't mind the pick. Third loss. I don't know. You got 2 loss Miami still waiting there. All right, I'll move to mine real quick. This is actually tomorrow. This is not tonight. Basketball.
Misled. I'm confused. Am I betting women's basketball? Am I betting volleyball? What is happening?
Okay. All right. Let me fix this up here real quick.
Why
can I not fix this? I don't want that one. That's the old one.
That's okay, Rodney. I'll do it for you. You just
No. I got it right now.
All right. Good. You're seeing it. Live updates. There we go.
Duke.
Yes. Tomorrow.
Basketball tomorrow. I think Duke's really good. I know they lost pretty much everybody. Cooper Flagg, Con Knippel, all the guys. They lost all of them. I think they're really good. Again, the Boozer kid, at least the one, is absolutely elite. He's going to be the number 1 pick. Duke's only a 1.5 point favorite. Now, it is Michigan State, and Tom Izzo's team is good. It is in East Lansing. That is not an easy place to play. It's number 4. It's number 7. I just think Duke's better. I'll take Duke minus 1.5 against the Spartans tomorrow in college basketball. 11 o'clock start from East Lansing. That place is going to be hopping. It'll be fun, but I'll take Duke.
You say that Boozer's going to be the number 1 pick. I read a mock draft yesterday on The Athletic, I think their first one of the year, that had Taron Peterson of your Kansas Jayhawks as the number 1 pick.
He's played two games.
Played 2 games. He's averaging 21.5 points in those 2 games.
Yeah, Frank Mason got on Twitter the other day and basically was like, if you think I ever would have missed because they played UConn. and some Kansas fans were like, he's 90%, but he can't play. You know, what kind of star is this? And Frank Mason basically tweet quoted it was like, yeah, I was never a star and I was never 100%, but there's no way in hell I would ever miss a game at Fog Allen against UConn. I'm just not built that way. And okay, I get it. Like number 1 pick, whatever, but 2 games so far, 2 games, Darren Peterson. Come on, man.
I'm telling you what the sources are. I would have thought Boozer would be the number 1 pick too. But
AJ DeBanza from BYU is also going to be in the mix. But I'm just telling you, Boozer has been absolutely terrific so far. Okay, really maybe not 1, but he's going to be a top 5 pick there.
No. I honestly, Rodney, I think that there's a good chance that he is number 1. I'm not sitting here to argue. I'm just telling you, like, there's probably it's those 3 guys that are all sort of in that conversation where they could go in sort of any order, and you can make an argument for it.
Koa Pete out of Arizona will also be going to be a good choice as well. So go ahead.
All right, my next pick, like Duke stinks. Like I know Virginia's not all that good, but like Duke's 7-5. So I'm gonna go with the Cavaliers here, 4 points, and hope it doesn't bite me in the ass in the ACC championship game that shouldn't have big implications, but does.
Chris Long would be proud of you.
Yeah, well, that's why I did it. So that's my boy.
All right, I'll say it. I'll be your Huckleberry.
Yeah.
12.5 points. I did it a month ago. I'm going to do it again. Come on, Cougars. Cougars kept their coach. Kalani Sitake could have gone from Provo, Utah to Happy Valley, Pennsylvania, which, by the way, if Penn State goes and does get Matt Campbell from Iowa State, that's a good get. Matt Campbell's a really good coach.
Is that the rumor?
That is the rumor. They are looking at grabbing him. Now, they have botched this. It's been 6 weeks since James Franklin was fired. But in this day and age in college football, while the signing period is important, don't get me wrong, but it's not as important because, like, tomorrow they could go in the transfer portal, right? Like,
right. All of James Franklin's recruits followed him to Virginia Tech.
Yeah, so they hire Matt Campbell from Iowa State. Okay, now all the guys at Iowa State are going to somehow end up at Penn State. So they a little overrated the signing period and how bad. I mean, Penn State was literally like 122nd recruiting class. That's atrocious. Anyways, back to BYU. I'm going to take BYU and Kalani Sitake with the win here.
Yeah, and shout out to the CEO of Crumble Cookies, who is the big BYU booster, who basically is the reason that BYU kept Kalani Sitake.
Yeah, he's like on his payroll now.
Yeah, that's welcome to 2025 college football.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right. So this is my first spoiler alert. My first of 3 underdogs that I'm betting against the spread for NFL Week 14. The Jaguars are 1.5 point home dog against Daniel Jones and the Indianapolis Colts. The Colts, who have for about a month have not been playing very good football. Quarterback who has a fracture in his fibula. And Rodney, I don't know if you know this. I feel like I've been stepping up with a lot of great facts today and stats. Do you know the last time the Colts won a game in Jacksonville?
2010.
It was close. 2014. Okay. Keep in mind that they're division rivals, meaning that they play in Jacksonville every single year. Every year. And the last one was in September of 2014 when Andrew Luck was the quarterback. So
it's like 10 in a row.
Yeah, right. It's like 10, 11 in a row. So it's it historically, Indianapolis hates playing in Jacksonville. Jags are playing better football right now, and I'm going to take a plus 1.5 as a home dog, and I think they'll win outright. So
all right, fair enough. When push comes to shove, I'll pick on bad teams. New Orleans Saints, they are a bad team. Go back and forth on Tampa. How good are they? Is Baker Mayfield healthy? I know last week I was, I don't know about them. Decent team playing bad team. Late in the year, I'm going to take Tampa Bay minus 8.5 here. 8.5 is a little bit scary because could the Saints kick a field goal and make it from 10-7 or something? I don't know. There's a lot of scenarios, but I just don't think New Orleans hangs in on this one. New Orleans does not have much and they don't have a lot to play for. Like, do they even care to win? They're playing backups a lot of places. I'll take Tampa minus 8.5 on Sunday and see what happens.
I like that pick. All right, Bears-Packers. I like the Bears last week against Philadelphia, and I like them this week against Green Bay. Rodney, this is a throwback to a big betting strategy we had last week, or last year, I should say. The Green Bay Packers had to go tit for tat in Detroit against Dan Campbell's Detroit Lions. I think that this game, we're looking at it through the prism of like, oh, well, yeah, the Packers, they own the Bears. But like, the Bears won against the Packers in Lambeau last year.
Yeah.
And the Bears have been playing close football. They're getting more used to playing in close competitive games. Meanwhile, Green Bay, like Josh Jacobs is banged up. They're coming off back-to-back division games, which are never fun. So then they got another one here. So I think this game is going to be closer, and I think the Bears will hang in. I'm going to take the Packers to win, but I think the Bears are going to really give them a run here. So I'm taking the plus 6.5 at Lambeau.
So you've been the king of giving great tidbits today. I'm crediting you here, but I'm going to give one that is going to blow your mind. I'm sure you've seen this, but if the Bears win, it'll be the second win in Lambeau this calendar year, because last year it was in January that they won. It would be the first time in 106 years of professional football for the Chicago Bears that they won twice in the same year in Lambeau. It'd be the first time ever. They've never done it before. Mind blown. I'm a stat guy too. Here we go. I got it. There we go.
Rod, that's very impressive. That's a great stat.
Yeah. Thanks to Brendan Sure on Twitter, X, whatever.
Nailed it.
All right. Buffalo Bills. I'm going to go. Sorry, Tim. See you, Bengals. Buffalo Bills put away the Cincinnati Bengals. Not buying into the Cincinnati comeback season. They played Lamar Jackson, who's disinterested, injured, and a Derrick Henry that acts like he's 50 now. I'm going with the Buffalo Bills. I live and die by the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo Bills, Philadelphia Eagles. If those two aren't in it, I die. I'm gonna go Buffalo Bills minus 5.5.
It's your funeral, man. Just saying. All right, and then my final underdog pick. Everyone's like, "Oh, the Kansas City Chiefs. This is a must-win game. They'll take care of business." Are we sure about that?
Yeah.
Are we sure that this year's Kansas City Chiefs can still just flip a switch and decide to dominate whenever they can? Like, Houston is playing really good football. They've won 4 in a row. CJ Stroud is back. Meanwhile, you have a Chiefs team that when they get into close games, they're finding ways to lose. Like, They barely beat the Colts. They beat the Colts by 3 points at home in their last game. Like, everyone's like, oh, they play so great at home, but like their home games are also against like the Commanders. They hosted the Raiders at home. Like, this is going to be a tough one for them. Texas playing really good, and like some people are even thinking that Houston could be a sneaky Super Bowl team if they get in. Just based on the way that the AFC is lined up. The defense is really good. So I'm going to take Houston plus 3.5, and Kansas City. This is going to be a game that if Kansas City wins, it's going to be by like a 2 points. It's going to be some close nonsense.
I would agree with you there. All right, to remind you, I'm 36 and 34. You are 35 and 35 heading into week 14 of the NFL. All right, about the final 5 minutes or so, let's get to our Mount Rushmores of 14. This is the 114th show. I'm going to start in the NBA. You can go to a different sport if you'd like and introduce that. I'm going to go NBA, where it's Oscar Robertson.
The big O.
Pretty good player. Also, Bob Cousy wore number 14. Currently, Brandon Ingram wears 14. But I'm going to go Oscar Robertson, Bob Cousy can be nominated. I don't know about necessarily on, because we've kind of been going around to one for each sport. Oscar Robertson, Bob Cousy are my choices for 14 in the NBA.
I mean, those are really good. Is Oscar Robertson like one of the, you can't really say like underrated, but like when people think of just like the old NBA legends, like the original sort of NBA legends, like everyone's like, oh, Wilt or Bill Russell, like they don't really talk about the Big O, but like, boy, he had great numbers. He was a great
Yeah.
player.
And I will preface this as he did only wear it the first 10 years, but I feel like 10 years is plenty for his career, plenty to wear 14. I picture him as 14. He was a 12-time All-Star, the MVP in 1964, first player to ever average a triple-double. So I think a great choice. He's going to go ahead of 6-time NBA champion Bob Cousy, at least in my mind. Bob Cousy, good choice. But I will say Oscar Robertson, probably our NBA guy here.
Yeah, I think the Big O is the right pick there. I think that's a good pick. All right, so in Major League Baseball, there have really only been a couple guys who are synonymous with number 14.
Okay.
That I think are worth considering here. And this might have to be a year, Rodney, or a number where we go multiple guys from one sport.
Yeah.
Because there's two dudes who wore number 14 who stand out well over the rest of baseball. Number one is the hit king Pete Rose, who wore it for all 24 of his major league seasons.
He's in.
And number two is Ernie Banks.
He's also in. And I wanted to say this is the only selection Pete Rose will get because he's not going to get in the Hall of Fame. But yeah, I like both those. Pete Rose, Ernie Banks.
Yeah, Ernie Banks for his entire 19-year career. So like guys who wore it their entire career, who were just legends in their respective sport. So I'd be willing to consider Pete Rose and Ernie Banks for the Mount Rushmore, to put both of them on. And then and then Oscar Robertson, I think, is a good pick as well.
Now, we don't have Dan here, but I'll move to hockey real quick. I do like Brendan Shanahan was 14.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, and I don't know Dave Keon very well, but apparently he's a Hall of Famer, a 4-time Cup winner with Toronto, Conn Smythe winner. Probably a good choice if we were a little more historic with hockey.
I saw Theo Fleury was another number 14, was a good player, but yeah, Brendan Shanahan, if that was the number that he wore for his career, well, did he wear it for? I don't know if Shanahan wore it long enough because he wore it with Detroit and with the Rangers his last couple of years, but like all those original years that he had with the Blues, with the Devils, I think he was wearing a different number.
Okay.
So he was okay, so he wore in his career 11, 19, 94, 14, and 18.
Yeah,
that's too many numbers.
Yeah, too many numbers. Good, really good player, considered probably the most dominant forward necessarily, whatever, in hockey. But I'm going to leave him off because he wore too many numbers. So Dave Keon, I don't know much about Dave Keon, but let's move to NFL and see if we can find a fourth there.
Yeah, so NFL. This one might be tough. So Dan Fouts is the number one player according to Pro Football Reference. 1973 to 1987, he wore number 14. Obviously, San Diego Charger legend. You have Ken Anderson, another really good player, longtime quarterback of the Cincinnati Bengals. Another Bengals quarterback, Andy Dalton, is on that list as well. So those are your top three. You get past that, you get to Stephon Diggs, who's wore number 14 for many years. His years in Minnesota and Buffalo in particular. Amon-Ra St. Brown currently wears number 14. And that's going to be a good player. Cortland Sutton, Sammy Watkins, some of the other 14s. But so I guess the question is, do we think that, because I would say we're locked in on Rose, we're locked in on Banks, we're locked in on Oscar Robertson.
Yes.
So that leaves one spot. So then it becomes like, is it Bob Cousy? Is it Brendan Shanahan, despite only wearing a billion numbers? Is it Dan Fouts? Or is it someone else that we're not thinking of?
My initial thought is Bob Cousy. And this is a double dose of NBA and a double dose of Major League Baseball. And we tell the NFL and NHL, sorry, not sorry, but this is our Mount Rushmore. And that's a pretty good Mount Rushmore, though. If you go Bob Cousy, Big O, and then the two Major League Baseball guys, that's a pretty good list. I mean, I'm not regretting looking back like, oh, we can do better. I think this is a pretty good list.
Yeah, I think that's where I'm at too. So
And
we go
sorry,
2 baseball, we go 2 basketball, and that's it.
sorry, Dave Keon from the Toronto Maple Leafs, but
It's a very this might be our oldest list yet.
yeah, no modern.
Is the most modern player that we selected Pete Rose,
Yeah.
who retired in the early 80s and is dead now. Like that's our newest player on the Mount
been weak
Rushmore
for a
14s.
while. Been a weak number, but Amon Ra's our hope. He's holding out. I mean, Stephon Diggs is married to Cardi B. Well, I don't think they're married. I don't know. They have kids. I don't know. Anyways,
You know a lot, man. Please keep telling us about this Stephon Diggs Cardi B thing.
yeah.
You know a
All
lot
right.
about it.
That's the end of today's show. So we'll wrap it up. But follow us on Twitter at Stupid Sports Show. No W on the end. It is Twitter. It is not X. Follow us there. We have about 4 more shows left of 2025. I think next week could be a good time to make a little announcement about the future, 2026, and what the show will look like. The show will go on, so don't go disappointed. Don't leave here and think we're going to be canceling anything. But we do have some news to share. But follow us on Twitter for all the latest, greatest. And then I'll do this one. Sign up on Substack. Go to that corner up there. It's for me, it's up there. For you, it's over there.
Oh, is it really on the other side for you?
Well, it's up here. It's on this corner for me.
Wow. Wow. That's
it's on my upper left. So you're on my left,
Whoa.
I'm on the right, and it's on your corner.
Whoa. Have I been on the right side the entire time that we've been doing this show? Because the entire time on my end, we've been on the left side. And I assumed that it was the same because it's just showing what's going live over the air.
But anyways, Substack. Substack, about 60 units ahead for the year. We'll try to increase that here in the next 20 days. As the end of the calendar year comes up, we'll restart when 2026 gets here. But just over 50 units ahead. So sign up for Substack there. Share it with your friends, your family, and join along on the Substack. If you have any picks you like, send it to the email and give me the reason why. And maybe I'll add it in there. Who knows? But anyways, it's all you, Tim. Take it away from here.
And take credit for the winning picks if they win, but then if they lose, be like, this wasn't me. This was someone else. This was an imposter. All 114 episodes are available wherever you get your podcasts. So in case you miss today's show or any other previous shows, and you're like, I want to go back and listen because they were so funny, so likable. Spotify, Apple, iHeart. Make sure to like, subscribe, get notifications whenever a new episode drops, and that includes this one, which will be up later this morning. So. Thanks everyone who tuned in. Had a lot of fun. Thanks, Rodney, for putting the show together. As always, love doing these Friday shows just to get ready for the football weekend and just a great sports weekend. No reason to go outside. Stay inside. Stay warm. It's miserable. Death is inescapable. So you might as well just watch some sports. You know, that kind of thing. All right, let's get out of here. He's Rodney Newpel. I'm Tim the Rocket Van Stratton. We'll talk to you next Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Central, right here on Twitter. YouTube, wherever you're watching us. Thanks for watching us. But until then, have a good weekend. And this has been another edition of the Stupidest Sports Show on Earth. See you guys. Step right up, dummies, and listen to the Stupidest Sports Show on Earth with Rodney Newpel and Tim Van Stratton. Yeah.